Everyone was shocked to find that the once unruly young lady of the royal residence had actually become obedient and sensible, as if she had turned into a completely different person. Little did they know, the girl had been reborn. In her past life, the girl had fallen into the water and was rescued by the prince. Since then, she had fallen in love with him at first sight. Desperate to marry him, she had listened to malicious gossip and resorted to extreme measures. She falsely accused the prince of molesting her, forcing him to marry her. As a result, the prince's reputation was ruined, and he became a laughingstock throughout the capital. Over the years of their marriage, the prince had hated her deeply. He even confined her to a courtyard, and soon after, married his beloved female general. Trapped in the courtyard, the girl had eventually died with eternal regret. When she opened her eyes again, she found herself back on the day of their wedding. She couldn't understand why she had been reborn on this day when they had already made such an irreversible mistake. Just then, the prince stormed over, furious, and demanded, "Is this really what you wanted?" The girl recalled that in her past life, when he had asked her the same question, she had replied, "Whatever I set my sights on will eventually be mine." But this time, she didn't know how to answer. The prince grabbed her angrily and shouted, "You were so quick to talk before, why are you silent now?" He then turned around and stormed off. The girl took out some silver and distributed it to those present, telling them to keep quiet about what had happened that day. She didn't even want the title of princess consort anymore, but she knew there was still a chance to make amends. The next day was the day she was supposed to offer tea to her mother-in-law. To avoid angering her mother-in-law, the girl got up before dawn to dress and fix her makeup. However, her mother-in-law, having listened to the slander of her sister-in-law, thought the girl wouldn't show up and was just about to leave when the girl arrived just in time, holding the teacup. Faced with the sister-in-law's deliberate provocation, the girl did something unexpected. She took the initiative to apologize. Everyone was astonished, feeling she was truly a changed person. The sister-in-law, however, sneered and mocked, "If it weren't for you, the prince would have long been living happily with the one he loves." In response, the girl said, "If the prince likes her, then let him marry her as a co-wife, and I'll propose a divorce from the prince in a year." The prince, though, thought she was just putting on a show for him. The girl didn't want to argue with him further. After offering tea to her mother-in-law, she left quietly. Who would have thought that night, the prince suddenly kicked open the girl's door and rushed in, holding a sharp sword, his face filled with rage? It turned out that his mother's chronic illness had worsened, and he suspected the girl was to blame.